Right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to take up exactly what you said, and that is what has changed since Mr. Hill was unanimously approved by the Banking Committee. So I want to talk about what's happened during the time that he has been at the FDIC. So Acting Chairman Hill, you served as the FDIC's policy director from 2019 to 2022. During your tenure, the FDIC weakened key big bank safeguards, which led to the second, third, and fourth largest bank failures in American history. Now, in addition to deregulation, another clear cause of these failures was weak supervision, including an understaffed bank examiner workforce at the FDIC. After Signature Bank's failure, the FDIC's chief risk officer found, quote, frequent vacancies and continuous turnover on the FDIC's exam team for Signature, and more broadly, that an average of 40% of big bank exam positions in the FDIC's New York office had been vacant or filled by temporary staff in the years prior. The FDIC Inspector General cited similar staffing challenges in its review as one direct cause of the bank's collapse. So, Acting Chairman Hill, since you became acting chairman in January, have you increased or decreased the number of bank examiners at the FDIC?
Senator, I would disagree with a number of the comments that you made there. I don't think it's true.
Well, I'm just quoting the FDIC's own Inspector General that makes an independent evaluation here. So have you increased or decreased the number of bank examiners?
So as part of our workforce reduction plan that we did earlier this year, we went through a very thoughtful process and we evaluated what the proper number.
I'm not asking you for your process. Yeah. Have you increased it or decreased?
So with respect to safety and soundness examiners, that was an area where we generally preserved. So we did not make any affirmative cuts.
Did you increase or decrease the number of exam officers?
Yeah, so the total number of examiners, we made small decreases on the safety and soundness side, and that was essentially eliminating certain vacancies.
So the answer is decreased. In addition to that, in January, you rescinded at least 200 job offers to bank examiners. Then you reportedly cut the FDIC workforce by 20%, roughly 1,250 positions, in response to DOGE. Now, you refused to provide this committee with a breakdown of the staff reductions when my office requested them last April. So you don't get to come in here now and say, oh, I didn't cut any of the people you would care about. If you weren't cutting any of the people I cared about, you should have told me that last April. Look, you're not just cutting exam staff. That's bad enough. But you're also weakening the regulatory safeguards again. You recently supported a proposal that would reduce the capital cushions at megabanks by 27%, or $200 billion, and reduce their capacity to lend to businesses and households by over $2.5 trillion. Don't take my word for it. Former FDIC Chair Sheila Bair and Vice Chair Tom Honig, both Republicans, said this rule would, quote, make bank failures and risk of bailouts more likely, increasing risk to the Deposit Insurance Fund, as well as the banks and U.S. taxpayers who back it. Acting Chairman Hill, do you agree with the former Republican chair and Republican vice chair of the FDIC that this Wall Street giveaway would decrease lending to Main Street and increase the risk of bank failures, bailouts, and ultimately losses to the Deposit Insurance Fund?
I would strongly disagree with that. The capital impact and in aggregate at the parent company is less than 2%. The intent behind it is to return the leverage ratio to a backstop.
This is a 27% reduction.
That's not at the parent company.
Even if the FDIC admitted that the rule could increase these risks, buried deep in the proposal of the agency, it says, quote, a reduction in required capital increases the size and likelihood of losses, shifting from shareholders to creditors, that means depositors, and the deposit insurance fund in the event of a failure. Such losses may lead to additional spillovers and costs, end quote. In other words, your own report, more bank failures and more taxpayer bailouts. I want to hit
that's
a
one in a
third
long list
point
of
on
considerations
this.
in the
You are
preamble.
also making it easier for criminals to exploit the financial system. Recent reporting has revealed how the biggest banks helped enable Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. It wasn't until Epstein was arrested in 2019 that J.P. Morgan finally reported nearly 5,000, I'm overtime suspicious transactions. I will do a question for the record to understand how you are taking away the tool to investigate the other Jeffrey Epsteins out there. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I apologize for going over.